Yeah. נזכור את כולם, נזכור את כולם. איי די 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 די. נזכור את כולם.
This service is the most important of all. This is what we're all here to do, is to remember each other, to hold some part of someone's life that you and only you hold. A memory, a way of seeing them, a way of being the custodian of one of those puzzle pieces. And when we leave, and all those puzzle pieces get scattered throughout the world, all the people we touched, all the people we taught, or we learned with, or we sang with, or we played with, or even that we fought with, and we provoked. We leave a little piece of ourselves with each other. And the Yizkor service comes along to invite us to go deep into that place of what we've lost and what we still have. This has been a unique 18 months, many losses and pivots. Everyone is feeling grief in some kind of way. Big ways and personal ways, global and individual. We're sitting here, some of us, completely by ourselves. Just you and the screen. And all these faces from around the world gathered in some space we don't even fully understand yet. And we can't necessarily hold each other's hands, but we can hold each other's gaze. We can feel each other's presence. We might be scattered and flung, but we are also connected and bound. The service will be a flow of songs and poetry, personal sharings of memories from some of our congregants, some liturgy, some meditation. We're using all the modalities we know to try to help us grapple with death of the body, even as we are completely aware that death of the spirit is an impossibility as long as we are still thinking, still remembering, still telling stories, still making that effort to keep that puzzle piece polished and ready so that when you find just the right place to drop it in, it fits. Let's all read together the Mourner's Kaddish for every day. Build me up of memory, loving and angry, tender and honest. Let my loss build me a heart of wisdom, compassion for the world's many losses. Each hour is mortal, and each hour is eternal, and each hour is our testament. May I create worthy memories all the days of my life.
Teach us to treasure each day, that we will build hearts of wisdom. Limnot yameinu, limnot yameinu, limnot yameinu kin hoda v'navi levav chochma, limnot yameinu kin hoda v'navi teach us to treasure each day. Teach us to treasure each day, that we may open our hearts to your wisdom. Teach us to treasure each day, that we may open our hearts to your wisdom. Teach us to treasure each day. Treasure each day. Teach us to treasure each day. Treasure each day. Teach us to treasure each day. Limnot yameinu, limnot yameinu.
These things I know, how the living go on living and how the dead go on living with them, so that in a forest even a dead tree casts a shadow, and the leaves fall one by one, and the branches break in the wind, and the bark peels off slowly, and the trunk cracks, and the rain seeps through in the cracks, and the trunk falls to the ground, and the moss covers it. And in the spring, the rabbits find it and build their nest inside the dead tree, so that nothing is wasted in nature or in love.
Will you hear my voice, my beloved? Will you hear my voice wherever you are? A voice that calls you, soaked in bravery and blood and tears, and above all things in time and space, a bracha, a blessing, is calling. התשמע קולי רחוקי שלי, התשמע קולי באשר אינך, קול קורא בעוז, קול קורא ומעל הזמן מצווה ברכה.
תבל זו רבה,
תבל זו רבה,
ודרכים ברב,
ודרכים ברב,
נפגשות לדם,
נפגשות לדם,
נפרדות לב, מבקש אדם, אך כושלות רגליו, לא יוכל למצוא את אשר עבר.
אחרון ימיי כבר קרוב אולי, כבר קרוב היום של דמעות פרידה, אחכה לך עד יכבו חיי, כך חכות רחל, כך חכות רחל לדודה. התשמע קולי,
תשמע קולי,
רחוקי שלי.
We wanted to invite Jen Reitman to offer some words about her mom, Elizabeth Reitman. Jen, welcome. Thank you so much, Jen. We just could use, if we could only get a good internet connection to the other world, right? Just one email a year would do it for me. Just that thing of not being able to pick up the phone anymore. To have that immediate connection is part of the hardest adjustment to losing somebody as important as a parent or somebody that you turn to often, a best friend or a sibling or, a loved one whose wisdom you counted on, whose humor you counted on, whose rebuke you counted on to keep you on the path. But we actually were born with that innate ability to connect, because when we allow ourselves to really be touched, we allow for that porosity to really take place. It's like the Torah says when the Israelites are complaining about, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? This is too much for us. I don't think we can manage this. And the teaching is, this is not across the sea that you have to send somebody to go get it for you. This is not in the heavens that you have to launch someone into space to get it for you. This is in your heart and in your mouth to do it for yourselves. And as we perfect our spiritual technology in this life to make that connection, we find deeper voices. We find our loved ones speaking to us in deeper truth, clearer words, more precise feelings. And so I bless you, Jen, and all who are in grief with that ability to maintain that connection. And to live through this year of pain and sharpness, the year of firsts. It's profound. It's not easy, but it's rich. Rumi, teaches such many beautiful things about the power of grief and the necessity for grief. So I just want to invite everybody to just drop down into that heart space. Take a minute to see who you let in, who's in there with you, what voices other than your own guide your path. Whose wisdom has intertwined with your own innate knowing. And just imagine that connection, worsted together like a rope, connecting your hearts, your minds, your spirits. And then know that death will not cut that tether. It will just make it a lot longer. That connection, that rope will extend into the realms that we can't even imagine. But anytime you need it, you can just Give it a little tug. And just say hello. I'd like to invite our dear Peggy Berger to offer some words about her mom, Ruth Berger.
we sing the song In These Arms, the song for all beings by Jennifer Benedictson. I cannot turn my eyes, I cannot count the cost of all that has been broken, all that has been lost. I cannot understand the suffering that life brings, war and hate and hunger, and a million other things. When I've done all that I can, and I try to do my part, let sorrow be the doorway into an open heart, and the light on the hills is full of mercy. The wind in the trees, it comes to save me. The silence, it will never desert me. I long to hold the whole world in these arms. May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings everywhere be free. Sing with us at home. May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings everywhere be free. May all beings
Ken Yiratzon, may it be so.
Want to welcome Kim Dwyer to share some memories and some thoughts about the loss of her mom this year, Janine Dwyer. Welcome, Kim. Oh, Kim. Thank you, Magid, for that beautiful journey, letting us go with you, be there with you. This is what it means. These stories that y'all tell about the people you've known and loved and what you learned from them, even if it was in their last breath. This is Torah. This is the Torah of grief. It's the Torah of death. It's the Torah of being here and then not being here. And there's a beautiful piece of musical Torah that we've discovered over the years that is by a guy called Ryan O'Neill. He goes by Asleep at Last. And the song is called In the Embers. And it's just about how we are here like a bright spark. So while we're here, we need to burn bright, be ourselves, leave those stories, and then go on to love.
We live and we die like fireworks. Our legacies hide in the embers. May our stories catch fire and burn bright enough to catch God's eye. We live and we die like fireworks. We pull apart the dark, compete against the stars with all of our hearts, till our temporary brilliance turns to ash. We pull apart the darkness while we can. May we live and die a valorous life, and may we write it all down in cursive light. And so we pray we were made in the image of a figure eight. May we live and die like fireworks. We pull apart the dark, compete against the stars with all of our hearts, till our temporary brilliance turns to ash. We pull apart the darkness while we can. Like fireworks, we pull apart the dark, compete against the stars with all of our hearts, till our temporary brilliance turns to ash. We pull apart the darkness while we can.
We'll move into the Yizkor service. If you are moved to rise, please do in body or in spirit.
We'll read together in English. O Creator, remember the souls of those we love who have gone to their eternal home. We are fully present as we pray in loving testimony to their lives. Please let their souls be bound up in the bond of life with the other righteous people who reside in Gan Eden. May they rest in dignity, and let us say, Amen. We'll pause for a moment so that you can hold in your heart and your memory any loved ones that you're remembering at this moment.
בשלום על משכבותיהם ונאמר
We extend our love and care to all those who are in an initial period of mourning. In our Chochmat HaLev community, we're thinking of Shai Wolf, whose mother, Marion Wolf, died 2 weeks ago, and to Dorit Geshuri, whose father, Yossi Geshuri, died last month. And we're thinking of the many folks in our community, so many more than in other years, who have had familial losses. And we wanted to share those names aloud. Sylva Tannenbein, who was a member of our community. Charlie Larico, a member of our community. Avi Ziv, the father of Daphne White. Carrie Sealine, the mother of Lark Sealine. Josh Kotler, the cousin of Carol Barnett. Elizabeth Ruth Rassler, sister-in-law of Jane Grossman. Hildy Sanders, sister of Naomi Puro. Jeannie Dwyer, mother of Kim Dwyer. Charlie Perlman, cousin of Jane Grossman. Sharon Perlman, cousin of Jane Grossman. Steffi Tick, the aunt of Peggy Berger. Ruth Fisher, mother of Michael Fisher. Elizabeth Reutman, mother of Jen Reutman. Marilyn Ruth Miller Zatinsky, mother of Shauna Zatinsky. Charles Woodmansee, father of Jim Woodmansee. Clara Coates, grandmother of Binya Coates. Ruth Berger, mother of Peggy Berger. Yossi Geshuri, father of Dorit Geshuri. Marion Wolf, mother of Shai Wolf. You know, since the pandemic started, we have also been announcing at each service the number of Americans and the number of people worldwide who have died of COVID. And as I was preparing for this service, I found a note from last year's service when we were noting that there were, at that time, 204,800 Americans who had died among 998,000 people worldwide. And today we are extending our care and our condolences to the nearly 664,000 Americans who are among the more than 4,648,000 people worldwide who have died of COVID. And may their memories be for a blessing. We invite you to take a moment to add into the chat anyone who you are remembering and saying the Kaddish for. And when you've had a chance to do that, we'll invite you to please rise in body or spirit.
The Mourner's Kaddish asks us to do something very, very hard, which is to offer praise when we are broken. And we had a colleague and a teacher and a friend and a fellow musician who passed this year also, Julia Eisenberg of blessed memory, who was the embodiment of throwing her head back and finding praise and joy in just about any and everything, even some of the hardest things that came her way or that we encountered as a people or as a world. Julia had an amazing knack of being able to find a song, to stamp her foot, to snap her fingers, and to just raise spirit. And so, in her honor and in her spirit, I invite you to find that thing about the person that you would offer this praise poem for. What is it about them that still makes you pop? Throw your head back, stamp your foot, sing a song, raise a spark. And let's raise those sparks with these sacred words. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba.
Amen.
Be'alma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute. B'chaye chon u'yom echon u'v'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru.
Amen.
Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam ul almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach. V'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shmei dekudesha brichu la'ela u'la'ela mikol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama Rabba min shamaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. O se shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol Yishmael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
May the one who makes peace and wholeness all around us heal us, guide us, comfort us as we attempt to make peace in our own hearts, in our families, in our communities, and in the world. And let us say amen to that.
We're going to bring the Yizkor service to a close with sharing Psalm 23. This is Betty Bracha Stone's incredible translation, and then Lior will offer it in the Hebrew. You, O beloved friend, are my guide. I desire nothing more. We lie together in the fresh greens of spring, and you lead me straight to the quiet waters. You summon my soul into your embrace, and in your sweet name I walk the paths of righteousness. I fear nothing, for you are with me. Even when I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, my power is yours, and I will lean on your staff. I am comforted. You prepare a feast and invite me to sit down with all my fears and demons. We receive your blessings, and my cup overflows with joy. Oh, goodness and kindness will surely keep me in their sight for all the days of my life. And it is in your house that I will rest for eternity.
מזמור לדוד, השם רואי, 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 רואי לא אחסר, בנודה שירביצני, על מי מנוחות ינהלני, נפשי ישובב ינחני במעגלי צדק למען שמו, למען שמו, למען שמו, למען שמו, למען שמו, או למען שמו. גם כי אלך בגיא צל מוות, לא ירא רע כי אתה עמדי, 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 כי אתה עמדי. שבטך ומשענתך המה ינחמוני. תערוך לפני שולחן נגד צורריי. דשנת בשמן ראשי כוס ערוויה, אך טוב החסד ירדפוני כל ימי חיי. ושבתי בבית השם לאורך ימים.
My cup overflows. It's the miracle of how full we are when we spill all that stuff out, right? There's something so rich about holding each other through loss and grief. The rabbis teach that the first 6 days of creation, God says, and it was good. And or the first 5, and then on the 6th day, God says, oh, it was very good. And they say, why? Only good. And then very good. What's going on? The rabbis teach us that the first 5 days, it was good, refers to happiness. And on the 6th day, when it's all there, everything's there, it was very good, refers to suffering. It sounds very Buddhist, right? But these are rabbis. And they say, why? What are you talking about? Suffering is very good. They say, yeah. Because it is suffering that forces us to imagine a better world. That forces us to embrace what is sweet and what is good. That stimulates that appetite for peace and for wholeness. And being in a service like this, you see it's true. Because when you hear people's stories of their loss, nobody wants to stay in the loss. Everybody wants to find the beauty, the peace, the miracles, the accomplishments, the love, the love, the love, the love is just about the love, my friends. And being together with everyone's voices, with everyone present, with all this diversity, with all of our arguments and all of our mishigas, to be able to sit together and step away from the suffering and just pray together in one house that is a house of prayer for all people. All of you shmedriks out there, all of you broken little pieces of the divine. There's one beautiful thing about the Zoom is that you really look like a mosaic of beauty, perfection. All the little broken pieces, all the little screens of your lives, all of us together in that. Ki beiti beit tefillah l'chol ha'amim, because this is a house of prayer for all people.
כי ביתי הוא בית תפילה לכל העמים. כי ביתי הוא בית תפילה לכל העמים. כי ביתי הוא בית תפילה לכל העמים. כי ביתי הוא בית תפילה לכל העמים.
My home is a home of prayer for all people and all nations. Our home is a home of prayer for all people and all nations. My home is a home of prayer for all people and all nations. Our home is a home of prayer for all people and all nations.
Kadosh, 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 Kadosh.
כי ביתי הוא בית תפילה לכל העמים. כי ביתי הוא בית תפילה לכל העמים.
כי ביתי הוא בית תפילה לכל העמים. כי ביתי הוא בית תפילה לכל העמים. קדוש, 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 קדושה, 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 קדושה. קדוש, 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 קדושה, 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 קדושה.
I want to welcome everybody who's joining us at this point for Neilah. We're transitioning out of Yizkor, out of that memory service and memorial place into Neilah, the final lifting up of our prayers on this Yom Kippur, on this day of atonement, at-one-ment, on this day of uncovering and releasing, on this day of finding our way back to the center of ourselves, back onto our path. Anything that we can shed now in these last final minutes, now's the time to let it go if you possibly can, and to be able to step into this next year as freed up as possible. We'll read together Neilah as the gates are locked. Just imagine those big gates slowly starting to creak back closed. Remember on Rosh Hashanah, just 10 days ago, we talked about those creaky old gates unlocking and opening. And now they've been open for 10 days to let all of the stuff in that normally just bounces off. But they're creaking closed to let us go back into our lives, back into our year. May all the words we have expressed, the levels of soul we have attained, and the feelings we have experienced now unfold in one unified outpouring of heart and soul. Let us use this time to reach and enter the gate of unity, sealing this moment as a deep memory from which we can draw strength during the year to come. The cycle of the day draws to a close. We rest at the center of compassion. As our experience approaches completeness, we cry out with our whole beings, please God, show us unity. Please God, release us, purify us. Please God, teach us forgiveness. Before it is too late, let us open the gates that lead to blessing and beauty and enter the gates of truth and serenity. Together we walk through the gates of kindness and compassion. El Nora Alila. Let's lift it on up.
El Nora Alila, El Nora Alila, Amselanu Mechila, Bishata Nehila, El Nora Alila, El Nora Alila, Amselanu Mechila, Bishata Nehila, El Nora Alila, El Nora Alila, Amselanu Mechila, Bishata Nehila, El Nora Alila, El Nora Alila, Amselanu Mechila, Bishata Nehila, Matei Mispar Keruim, L'chaim Noseim, Umsaladim Bechila, Bishata Nehila, El Nora Alila, El Nora Alila, Amselanu Mechila, Bishata Nehila, El Nora Alila, El Nora Alila, Amselanu Mechila, Bishata Nehila. שופכים לך נפשם, חיפי שם וכך שם, המציעים מחילה בשעת הנהילה. אל נורא עלילה, אל נורא עלילה, המצלנו מחילה בשעת הנהילה. אל נורא עלילה, אל נורא עלילה, המצלנו מחילה בשעת הנהילה. תזכו לשנים רבות, הבנים והאבות, בדיצה ובצהולה בשעת הנהילה. אל נורא עלילה, אל נורא עלילה, המצלנו מחילה בשעת הנהילה. אל נורא עלילה, אל נורא עלילה, המצלנו מחילה בשעת הנהילה. מיכאל שר ישראל, אליהו וגבריאל, מסרו נא הגאולה בשעת הנעילה. אל נורא עלילה, אל נורא עלילה, המצלנו מחילה בשעת הנעילה. אל נורא עלילה, אל נורא עלילה, המצלנו מחילה בשעת הנעילה. אל נורא עלילה, אל נורא עלילה, המצלנו מחילה בשעת הנעילה. אל נורא עלילה, אל נורא עלילה, המצלנו מחילה בשעת הנעילה.
Opa! Okay, feeling it? We're going to send that up now. Yep, little tingles. Let's go. Here we go. Yes, yes, yes. We have to lift it up, and we've got to dig down deep into our hearts to find that last little bit, whatever last little remaining bit is in there that needs to be extracted, shaken loose, pried off the rock to be released as those gates are still just open. Oh, my holy friends, so much work to do. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Lior, why don't you lead us in, my holy friend?
Just before we go into the Amidah, inviting you to go to the Amidah with the intention of Eheyeh Asher Eyeh, which means I'm becoming, I will be whatever I will be. Inviting you to let go of what you don't need anymore and open to this new year with a sense of curiosity, of wonder, of mystery. Eheyeh Asher Eyeh just means I'm in this moment, I'm becoming, I'm changing, I'm transforming, I'm going with it, I'm choosing to stay on the wave and surf on it, and I'm not sure where it's going and where it's going to take me, but I'm becoming. I'm becoming. Eheyeh Asher Eyeh, Asher Eyeh. Eheyeh Asher Eyeh, Asher Eyeh. זה שמי לעולם, לעולם, לעולם ועד. זה שמי לעולם, לעולם, לעולם ועד. אין עוד מלבדו. Asher Eyeh, Asher Eyeh. Eheyeh Asher Eyeh, Asher Eyeh. זה שמי לעולם, לעולם, לעולם ועד. זה שמי לעולם, לעולם, לעולם ועד, ועד, ועד. אין עוד מלבדו.
זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים. זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים. וחותמנו בספר החיים, למענך אלוהים חיים, למענך אלוהים חיים. זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים. זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים. וחותמנו בספר החיים, למענך אלוהים חיים, למענך אלוהים חיים.
Remember us for life, Sovereign, who delights in life, and seal us in the book of life for your sake, God of life.
זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים. זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים. וחותמנו בספר החיים, למענך אלוהים חיים, למענך אלוהים חיים.
Please rise in body or spirit. Chant these merciful and compassionate emanations and qualities of the divine.
Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum v'Chanun, Erech Apayim v'Rav Chesed v'Emet, Notzer Chesed לאלפים, נושא עוון ופשע וחטא ונקה. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum v'Chanun, Erech Apayim v'Rav Chesed v'Emet, Notzer Chesed לאלפים, נושא עוון ופשע וחטא ונקה.
We ask God to open the gates for us at the hour of the locking of the gates as the day is turning. This day will pass away. The sun sets and disappears. Let us come through your gates, we ask. Please, Divine One, please forgive us, pardon us, absolve us, spare us, subdue all residue of error and wrongdoing. Betach lanu sha'ar, beit neilat sha'ar, kifana yom, hayom yifneh, hashemesh yavo v'yifneh, navo she'arecha, ana ilna, sana selachna, v'chala chamolna, rachemna kaperna, kavosh chait ve'avon.
We move into the vidui, the final recitation of forgiveness and asking for forgiveness and accepting upon ourselves the messes that our species has created. And, you know, there are the traditional words that we will say in Hebrew, but it doesn't, you know, this, all of Jewish liturgical tradition, the vast majority of it, didn't come out of the Torah. It didn't spring out of the sea. It didn't grow on a tree. It was the actual, authentic outpourings of someone's pain or delight or amazement or gratitude or regret. So all of these words that have now made it into our prayer book and seem like they've been there forever were actually something quite spontaneous originally. And in that spirit of keeping that part of the tradition alive, at Chochmat Halev, we have open sourced the Al Chet, the recitation of our missed marks, of our sins, of our broken behavior. And so the English that we will read is not something that comes out of any other prayer book. It's something that came out of y'all. And we will read these things anonymously, but these are your words that were sent into us in these last 10 days. We have invited you to say, where did you miss the mark? Where did you fall short? In the spiritual realm, in the physical realm, the emotional realm, the intellectual realm. So that when we are saying these words, they are actually true. We know that we're holding a container for each other to be able to show up with that. I think that the rabbis and the sages and the magids and the radicals that fomented this whole thing would be able to cheer us on in diving into that. And so I thank all of you who offered these words for us. We invite you to rise in body or in spirit with these words as we send them up and try to free ourselves from these final pieces of our missteps.
And as a reminder, whatever is your custom related to your heart, whatever helps you open to that vulnerability of being able to recognize and own whatever missteps you might have made. Some people, when we do these recitations, use a closed hand and beat gently on their heart. Others start there and release from their heart. And others comfort and ease their heart, whatever is your practice.
We learned this year a new metaphor for it, which is, the old days were like beating yourself, like to try to de-incentivize bad behavior. But one that we learned this year, and I can't remember where we learned it, was maybe instead of the beating it, maybe you think of that pressure, that pounding as CPR, of trying to wake your heart back up, of knocking on the door of your own heart.
Yeah, yeah, da, da, yeah, da, 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 yeah, da, 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 yeah, Ashamnu, Bagadnu, Gazalnu, Dibarnu Dofi, ay, 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 ya da da da, ya da da da, Hevinu, Vehirshanu, Zadnu, Hamasnu, Tafanu Sheker. Ay, 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 ya, 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 Yatsnura, Kizavnu, Latsnu, Maradnu, Niatsnu, Sararnu, Avinu, Pashanu, Tsararnu, Kishinu Oref. Ay, 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 ya, da, 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 ay, ay, ya, da, 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 ay, Rashanu, Shichatnu, Tiavnu, Tainu, Titanu. Al chait shechatanu lefanecha.
We missed the mark in the spiritual realm by getting stuck in a place of work and obligations and losing sight of the simple joy of being alive. Letting our meditation practices lapse when we most needed them. Acting out of panic with bad results. Letting ego rule over our thoughts and actions. Being unable to sustain trust in the divine. Losing faith that problems in the world can or will get any better. Using our spiritual practice to stay asleep instead of as a potential vehicle for transformation and healing. Seeking solace in places that keep us from turning inward in a meaningful and productive way. Meeting the unknown in our lives with stress and distrust instead of love, curiosity, and faith.
We missed the mark in the emotional realm by wishing ill on politicians, using harmful language in anger with friends, family, and loved ones, by not honoring our partners more, by closing our hearts in anger and hurt, by being slow to forgive, by being harsh and judgmental of ourselves and others, by yelling and cursing at our children in frustration, by squandering opportunities to connect, by getting angry and defensive, by forgetting to ask for help, by reacting out of righteous anger or annoyance instead of love and compassion, by diving into shame and believing we're unworthy of the lives we've been given, by not having the patience to work through difficult conversations skillfully.
Kulam Eloha selichot selach lanu mechalanu kaper lanu.
We missed the mark in the physical realm by not honoring our beautiful bodies, by eating too much and moving too little, by abusing intoxicants, nicotine, caffeine, and unhealthy food, by not resting enough, not soothing ourselves enough, by buying too many things on Amazon and using too much paper and cardboard, spending too much time on Facebook and Instagram instead of reading books, allowing and even welcoming all manner of distractions as the health of the planet spirals out of control.
And we missed the mark in the intellectual realm by not living our values and beliefs, by taking the course of least resistance, being dishonest in our communication, being prideful, judgmental, haughty, and dismissive, allowing ourselves to be consumed by stress, by feeling angry and judgmental at those with opposing political views, being consumed with getting information and staying on top of all the news, by comparing ourselves to others, not reading the books that nourish us as much as we should have, and falling into the vortex of mind-numbing TV, by getting hugely wrapped up in mental decision spirals, prioritizing what other people might think of us instead of what genuinely makes us happy or seems right.
Kulam Eloha selichot selach lanu mechalanu kaper lanu.
We missed the mark when we didn't take action we didn't work as hard as we could to make a difference, to work for change. We didn't give help to those who needed it. We didn't volunteer more for the poor and our planet. We didn't speak up in fraught situations when we saw someone hurt someone else. We didn't give others the space or respect they deserve. We didn't do the important work to make the world a better place because we let despair get in the way. We didn't disrupt white supremacy in its many manifestations, including within our own white bodies. We didn't step outside of ourselves and be part of any community because of feeling overwhelmed with despair.
Ve'al kulam Eloha selichot selach
As part of our practice, we also asked, where did you make the mark? Where, looking back in this last year, did you feel proud, good, where you noticed growth in yourself? And we asked what you wanted to be blessed with and what you wanted to bless our community with. We're going to share the ways that y'all hit the mark this year now. And at the very end of the service, we're going to share those communal blessings that you sent in to us. And this is what you said. We were kind and supportive to our friends and family. We tried to connect with people needing friendship. We found new interests to keep us sane. We stood up for ourselves and fought for our rights. We developed more consistent meditation and exercise practices. We gave up smoking. We went on walks and hikes instead of sitting in traffic. We held on to the light even through very dark times. We joined protests for wildlife, climate change, and racial justice. We engaged in strong neighborhood organizing. We left toxic work cultures. We committed ourselves and resources to movements to heal racialized trauma. We persevered while traversing a great expanse of grief. We were able to ask for and receive support. We continued to question. We acknowledged how blessed we are.
So from that place of abundance, that place of those are blessings to know that that's happening in our community. It's so important to remember that there are people working hard to heal themselves, to heal others, to make changes that make room for a better world, for a more just and equitable world. That we are increasing our sensitivity to the brokenness of others and the ways that just without even trying, we've been a part of systems that have not been healthy or righteous or holy. But to know that there's work happening to make those changes, it's so important. And so in that place of blessing, we also want to reach out to those who are still in need of healing and offer this blessing to all of you, every one of you, to be held, to not be alone, even if it's just for this couple of hours. Please let it in that you are not alone. And we bless you with wholeness, compassion, tenderness, good humor, and the strength to keep moving, to keep trying, to keep climbing that next mountain.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha ken yehi ratzon Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka ken yehi ratzon Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yisam lecha shalom. May God bless and keep you, friends, and shine a light upon you. And may the garden of this life you tend bring forth graciousness and peace. The road is long and the journey it can be so hard, and no one's to serve with love. בספר חיים ברכה ושלום ופרנסה טובה ניזכר בני חטאים לפניך אנחנו וכל עמך בית ישראל וכל העמים לחיים טובים ולשלום. ברוך אתה אדוני עושה השלום.
Amen.
Please rise in body or spirit. Let these words elevate you. We look to our source, compassionate parent, for healing, for comfort, for strength.
Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu v'aneinu, ki en banu ma'aseh. Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Ima, 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 oh Ima.
We have a blessing formula that kind of seals this moment. We say 3 lines, Shema, Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. We say the Baruch Shem Kavod, Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. And we say Adonai Hu HaElohim. The Shema once, the Baruch Shem Kavod 3 times, and Adonai Hu HaElohim. I will call and I invite you to respond after me. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Adonai Hu Elohim.
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 If you have your shofar with you, we will make one final blast of the shofar, a tekiyah gedolah, a great sounding. Tekiyah gedolah.
Oh, thank you all. Thank you all for showing up, for just being you, for continuing to roll with this life and all of its strange punches, and keep coming back to just deepen your understanding of what it means to be a human being, because that's a big job. It is such a big job. We are so complicated creatures, unbelievably complicated in body and in spirit. And it's a big, big ask of the universe to have given us a consciousness like ours, imagination like ours, with all of its capacity for beauty and art and shimmering exquisiteness, and all of its capacity for destruction and just plain dumb stuff, right? It's a lot to ask us to not use it all. It's a lot to ask us to just always take the high road, because every spiritual tradition on this planet teaches us that the high road, I don't know, it doesn't hold much appeal for us, honestly. We kind of like getting down in the muck. Maybe it's because we know that in the muck, in that place of mystery, in that place of hiddenness, there are gems, there are beautiful things that we and only we can retrieve. And I just pray and bless all of us that we don't go so deep that we can't get back out, and that we are able to find satisfaction with the gems we have already discovered. And that as we enter this year of 5782, we are resolved to taste all the sweetness, to not be hardened against the beauty and the sweetness. Because I honestly believe that if each and every one of us just as little teeny tiny peanut individuals that we are, if each one of us goes into that place where you know what's right, you know what's good, you know what's healthy, you know the right choice to make, that if we do that and we listen to that, that in the millions we will affect the balance of this world. It's not going to be one leader. It's not going to be one country. It's going to be the millions, the billions of us. Just being sweet, offering kindness, opening our doors. We don't have to wait for those gates of heaven to open. We can open the doors of our homes, of our hearts, of our communities to one another. Yeah, that's all we have to do. So may this be a year of open gates and open hearts and kindness and love. You be you. Everything be all right. Shana Tova.
And in that spirit, we want to invite you to think for just a moment about one thing, just one thing that you want to lean into in 5782. Something that a year from now you want to look back and feel like, yeah, I made that mark. I did that one thing that I really had hoped to do. And we're going to open up the chat so that you can add your response in. What is one thing you're leaning into in this next year? Take just a moment for you to add those in. And so you can see what else is present here in this community. You can keep adding those. We wanted to offer our gratitude to all of you for sharing of yourselves in this way and in all the ways that you have been in community with us. It's been an honor and a privilege to be able to do our life's work with all of you. And obviously, we never could have done this alone. We had such an incredible contemplative service this morning. Thank you, Lior, for weaving that magic with Laura Goldman and Jeffrey Kessler, Melanie DeMoore, Sheikh Issa Nassim Baba, and Karina Small. And thank you, Rachel Michelson, for a beautiful healing workshop this afternoon. Our High Holiday Committee, chaired by Janet Falk, with Lisa Strongen and Peggy Berger and Carol Potofsky, have worked tirelessly for months to make these services possible. And of course, our team here at Chochmat, led by our executive director, Dorit Gashuri, with Charn Sato, Cecily Rogers, and Pam Svensson. I got it, Jhos. Yeah, that's
so
all right.
rare that I feel like I might have something to contribute.
That's okay. Thank you so much to Peggy Berger and Kim Dewar and Jen Reutman for their heartfelt and beautiful, beautiful sharing of their memories and insights and learnings about their mothers today in our Yizkor service. Thank you in advance to Janet, who will be doing the announcements in just a moment. And thank you to the folks who stepped forward to sponsor all of these services during the high holidays, and particularly those who offered dedications as well. All of these donors were anonymous. We thank you, whoever you are, from the bottom of our heart. We also have a terrific marketing team who helps to get the word out about everything amazing that's happening. Sherry Kronfeld, Lee Bierson, Jenny Peck, and Adi Mars. And in this room, we want to extend our heartfelt thanks to our friend and colleague and wonderful stage manager, Jennifer Verizon. Thank you, Jennifer. To the sound master of the universe, Paul Knight. To a clear-eyed and steady Alan Cash for helping us with our live streaming. For these services and every single service and most classes that happen here at Chochmat Halev, to our Zoom Gabbai, Beyond, Steve Friedkin, for making this space so special and beautiful, our set designer, Chagit Cohen, to Nadine Rosenthal, whose beautiful quilt you see here as well, and to the many people who jumped in to help illuminate this experience: Alice Presson, Irene Young, Lior Tsarfaty, Cheshire Isaacs, Paul Knight, and Sharon Sato. And to Donna Gantz, who is here helping on site, and to Carol Bertofsky and Susanna Delman and Brenda Goliano, who have helped us throughout. And finally, to this thank you. Thank you, Michaelle and Doni. Unbelievable. The beating heart and the one who grounds us. Thank you. Thank you, Shira, for 2 decades of musical partnership. Thank you. Hey, buddy. Thank you. We're so blessed. Janet, I think it's time for announcements. Thank you so much, Janet. We have a brief ritual to close our observance of Yom Kippur. And then during our final prayer song, you'll be seeing the blessings that you sent in, the things you wanted to be blessed with yourself, and the blessings that you want to offer our community. If you feel able to rise in body or spirit, or you can just let these words elevate you, we will have a brief ritual of Havdalah. Havdalah is the ritual that marks a distinction between what was and what is coming. We do Havdalah at the end of Shabbat, holding on to the sweetness in every way that we can. And we also do Havdalah at the end of a major holiday like Yom Kippur. We'll make a blessing over wine, blessing and making sacred time, and we'll make a blessing over light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei meorei ha'eish. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, המבדיל בין קודש לחול, בין אור לחושך, בין ישראל לעמים, בין יום השביעי לששת ימי המעשה. ברוך אתה אדוני, המבדיל בין קודש לחול. Shana Tova. A good year.
Before we sing the last song, on a very personal note, you don't know this about me, but I didn't even know what Avinu Malkeinu or Etz Chaim or El Nar Refanalai. I actually never heard those words before I met those two, so they are responsible of turning a complete secular Israeli into a, I'm not sure what I am, but it's becoming. And yeah, that's right. And if you want, of course, if you feel comfortable to turn your videos on, if you feel comfortable with that, of course, we want to see you for this part. You know, if this was not in COVID times, we will have a klezmer band coming here now and dancing around Josh and Julie and greeting them and lifting them up in the air. Did you do that in your wedding? No. Okay, never mind. But I've been around them for a few years now, and I bow to you with everything you did, with the ups and downs of leading a spiritual community. Wow. And from wherever you are, we're saying together, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. They're out there, look at them. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Your love is pouring down, just like the rain. Your love is pouring down. Bring down your love rain, bring down your love rain. Your love is pouring down. Your love is pouring down. Bring more of it, bring more of it. Your love is pouring down on all of us, on all of us. Your love is that we all say thank you, thank you, thank you. Tell them, thank you, thank you, thank you. We can hear you, we can hear you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Your love is pouring down. Our love is pouring down on you. Our love is pouring down, and a few tears too. Our love is pouring down. This is is a good time for your thank you gesture, if you have one. There it is, there it is. So many, so many. Pouring down. Our love is pouring down on you. Our love is pouring down.
Shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yishmael, ve'al kol ha'olam.
Oseh shalom, shalom b'imroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yishmael, ve'al
Shana Tova.
Thank you all so much.
Shana Tova to the babies about to be born.
Whoopah!
Woo! Shana Tova. So much love. Shana Tova to the little ones and to the older ones, to the ones who need healing, to the ones who feel strong. Shana Tova to all of you.
May this be the best year ever.